Yo, peace and love. Happy Sunday. Pardon a delay. Holy cow. Knocked out. Knocked out. Friday's party. Saturday's shenanigans. Uh, yeah, had me knocked out, got me still tired. A great rising. Happy Sunday. Happy solid soulful Sunday. Sunday, March 15th. It's no longer my birthday. My birthday came and went. It's one day, right? One day comes and one day goes, man. Um, but we are closer and closer to spring. Right? We're closer and closer to better weather, more consistently. I'm excitedly looking forward to that. Right? Looking for my lighter for my sage and stuff, Palo Santo, and all of that good stuff. But yeah, man, another day. Day 2, 50 days of divine discipline. Yeah, man, we had a hiccup yesterday, right? We didn't accomplish what we set out to accomplish yesterday, all right? And we ate, man. I ate last night, all right? I did the whole day pretty good, and then just in my head, right? Like birthday, man. So I ate last night, and felt terrible about it. Physically felt terrible, emotionally felt terrible, mentally felt terrible, right? So we set a new goal, all right? We reset the goal and we keep going. Right, but today I feel more, I guess, more ready. Right, like it's that energy, that pressure, even the internal pressure. Right, the internal pressure that we put on ourselves sometimes. Right, which is, part of the topic today, the ups and downs of life. Right, the ups and downs are not always circumstantial. Right, or don't always have to do with situations outside of your control, outside of your physical body. And sometimes ups and downs just in thought process, ups and downs and energy levels, right? um that can give birth to or make way for other thoughts, right? Thoughts that are not always best for you, right? So yesterday it was emotional. I think it was one thing that happened that really pushed the emotions to the next level. My It was unexpected, but I was very happy. My children called me. Right, my children called me for my birthday. All right, my son was able to call, man, and got my daughter, and yeah, that did something to me. Um, yeah, I'm about to cry now. That did something. That was really special. Right, I missed his call. I was outside walking. He came back in. I saw I had 2 missed calls. He video called me and regular called me. I was like, oh snap, call back immediately, and yeah, that was great. That did something emotionally to me, right? Really put me in space of deep gratitude, right? Deep gratitude and Thanksgiving and just high emotions. Because, like, obviously, I would have loved to have seen them, all right, physically, would have loved to have been with them, spent some time with them, touched them, hugged them, haven't been able to hug them in 6 months now, all right? Haven't hugged my babies in 6 months. And some days are better than others. All right. Yesterday was a great day. That call was really emotional, and it was necessary. And I'm grateful, but it definitely like gave me some internal, like, I don't even know, butterflies. Like I can't even explain or express what it did internally. But after that, a little bit later, I was trying to hold out internally, but so now I need to eat something. I started running, doing my exercise, doing just moving my feet, and yeah, so we crashed last night. And one thing I know is that in journeys like this, on journeys like this, it's better to crash in the beginning than in the middle or the end, right? So it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And so we're gonna reset today. All right, today is reset day. And yeah, man, tomorrow the real, I mean today, but tomorrow especially, the real journey begins, right? As Monday and things are more open and work mode, right? People are working, going to be reaching out to a lot of people, pushing this fundraiser, building out this plan, building out this structure for Continuum for Neuro Soul Liberation University, right? Talking with Kimona, really getting the deeper into the whole vibe and Miss Juicy and what's needed there, right? To really grow it, and talking to other organizations who we want to help fund. We want to help, as we raise money, we want to put some money into their ventures, into their endeavors, right? Because again, there's some great people doing some great things. But today we're going to talk about the ups and the downs, the ups and the downs of life. The ups and the downs of life, right? Life is not linear. It does not go straight. It's not always up, right? There are some downs, but it's not always down. There are some ups. There are a lot of ups. There are a lot more highs than lows. But there are some lows, and they fluctuate, and sometimes they can exist pretty much at the same time, right? You can have a high moment and a low moment, right? Yesterday's call with my children was definitely a high moment. And it was a bit of a low moment because it was like, it's really 6 months. It's really my birthday. And like, this is what we are. This is what we are. This is how the only way right now we can communicate and see each other is through a phone call or a video call, which is a blessing, yes. And I wish, right? That is a wish. And it was more. But we're going to get into this prayer. Before we get in, once again, my apologies on the delay. Definitely slept until 8 o'clock. All right. Got up early in the bathroom, but we're back to sleep. Again, feeling all of the feels that we're going to work through. Sefu Sankofa on the check-in. Peace and love, brother. Mona Love on the check-in. Peace and love. Thank you for being here always. We're going to pause this TikTok. We're going to burn some sage. We're going to light this sage, get into this prayer. And we'll be back to TikTok in a moment. My prayer for today, for this Sunday morning, March 15, 2026, that every person who hears these words gives themselves grace and compassion on their journey. Pray that every person who hears these words remembers that they are human. And that on the journey of a human, there are ups and there are downs, there are highs and there are lows. I pray that every person who hears these words remembers when they are low, that those low moments, those low times will not last always, and they will be high again. And I pray that every person who hears these words when they are high, they remember the low moments, and they know that eventually they will come again. And so they steady their mind and prepare their heart with grace and compassion, love and patience, understanding, acceptance and forgiveness. I pray that every person who hears these words recognizes also the humanity in others. When others around them fall or stumble, they offer to pick them up. They offer them grace and compassion, patience, understanding, and forgiveness. I pray that every person who hears these words has the strength to get back up after they fall, has the courage to admit to themselves and to others when they fall, when they mess up, and has a determination to finish the race. I pray that every person who hears these words remembers that it is indeed a long journey. Every stumble, every step, every slip is part of the process. So I pray that every person who hears these words always remembers life goes on. Journey is not over until you're done. That is my prayer for this Sunday morning. Give thanks and share. Ups and downs of life, right? It's like a wave, right? It's It's a wave that you have to ride, right? It's a wave that you don't know how long you're going to be up. You don't know how long you're going to be down, right? You just got to know that it's always going to fluctuate. It's always going to change. It's always going to shift. Hold on, let me add this thing up here. All right. And so as I mentioned in the prayer, all right, that TikTok misses that I've lived long enough and I've experienced enough life, right? I've lived full enough to have experienced really low moments when I thought there was no way out, and even times when I may not have wanted to be here, still was here, and eventually, right, you see things looking up. My cousin used to say all the time, things are looking up, right? What's going on? Things are looking up, right? And I've experienced enough high moments to know that things come out of left field, right? Things come out of the corner sometimes and affect you, right? And although we strive to not let anything impact us to the point where it throws us off our course, right? We know that one, that can happen. It does happen, right? There are things are going really well, and a partner gets ill, right? A parent falls ill or transitions suddenly, right? A friend, right? Things are going well, and the company that you work for downsizes, right? Suddenly, and you have to get let go. All right. So many different ways, so many different instances, so many different examples of things going really well and something happening that knocks you off your feet. It's like, oh snap. Right. And the key there is to feel it, right? It's to not admit like it's nothing, or to not act like it's nothing. To feel whatever it is, like the shock, right? The disappointment, the anger, frustration, whatever comes up, to feel it and know that, like, okay, I gotta keep moving. But give yourself, I think that's what a lot of people, when they get down or something happens and they don't allow themselves to be down, they keep moving. Some people could do that and they're really well at that, right? They do really well at that. Some people mask it in their front and they end up crashing later. And the crash later is worse than if they just would have admitted that this thing impacted me this way, this thing affected me, losing this gig, losing my loved one, right? Whatever it is, it impacted me in this way that got me feeling really low. They try to keep going because of their role, sometimes mother, father, right, caretaker, whatever the role is. They like, all right, I got to keep going. And then at some point, they crash and everything falls apart, right? So I guess honesty, right, is key there. And then on the flip side, when you could have a long stretch of things not working out for you, right? Or you think things are not working out, things are tough, they're a long stretch of low moments. And you get to a point where you're feeling really low, you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this. And you keep going and something happens, right? You get the gig offer, right? A person that you are interested in calls you, right? Or you meet somebody new on the street, right? Or a loved one surprises you with something, or you get some great news. A loved one was ill and now they're better, right? You hear the news of maybe a sibling or a close friend or relative is expecting a new baby, right? Or they met a new lover, they're getting married, or whatever the good news could be, can lift you up, right? And it came out of nowhere. It's like, oh snap, right? You find some money, right? You get an opportunity that you've been praying on, all right? Those things happen too. And the key there is to expect it, right? To expect good things to happen. Expect that at every turn, there's possibility for magic. At every turn, there's possibility for magic and for beauty and for great things to happen and to unfolding in life, because great things are always unfolding. Great things are always happening. Great things are always in the works. All right. You just got to expect it. When you don't expect it, even when they're when they're small, even sometimes when they're big, you let it pass you because you are stuck in a rut. All right. So yes, experience the bad times, but don't get stuck there. Even when you are physically there and you are emotionally there, and it's taking it's impacting every part of your being, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, right? Feel that and still have enough wherewithal to keep your head on a swivel. Something great is coming. I know it is, because it don't stay dark forever. It can't stay dark forever, right? Like, it's just not how it works. Even in places where it's dark for a very long time, at some point, eventually, the light is going to return to that space. At some point, who knows, 1,000 years, 10, I don't know, but the light always comes back. Always, one way, shape, form, or another, right? So we as humans have to have that same knowing, that same understanding, that as tough as it is, as dark, as grim as it is, as hard as things are right now, as long as I do not give up, as long as I do not give in to the low moments, right? As long as I do not give in to the downs, and expect, right? As long as I expect that things are going to turn around at some point, they will, and they will turn around faster than you think, when you expect it and when you look for it. Because when you look for it, when you really look for the magic, when you really expect the magic, you lift up a stone and there's something there for you, right? You're like, oh snap! Like, places where you wouldn't normally find gems or jewels or magic, you find it because you're looking for it, right? And so that's the key when you are experiencing the low moments, when you're experiencing the downs, is to keep your head up, right? And when you're experiencing the highs, the key is to keep your head level, right? Don't keep your head down, keep your head level, so you can see what's coming, right? So when it comes, right, and to keep your heart expecting, like, knowing that, like, tough. Number one, people die every day, right? You can't control who, you can't control when. So people pass every day. So not so much to expect somebody you love to transition, but to know that every day that I live is a day that not only am I closer to transition, but other people are closer to transition. Everybody's closer to transition, right? So, like, when you get a call, right, when you find out some news, feel it, and then breathe. Process. Your mindset is everything. Your mindset is going to determine how you respond when a thing happens, right? So always set your mind on the fact that life is very real and life is unexpected on both sides. It's unexpected. Great things are going to happen, and there's unexpected things that don't feel so good that are also going to happen. And that's how you ride that wave. That's how you ride that wave. Because you got to ride it. You don't want to get stuck and fall and sit in the middle of the wave. You drown. You drown, and now it's over. And why is it over? Not because it was too much, because you simply didn't surf. You simply didn't ride the wave. You allowed the wave to consume you. And that's not what we want to do. Right? And so, as I experience the ups and downs of life, right? I've learned how to ride the wave. I've learned when I'm down, feel it, but keep my head up. Know that greatness is on the horizon. Greatness is in me. And so as long as I show up, as long as I put forth the energy, put forth the effort, right, and keep my mindset on the positive, greatness is going to unfold, right? Because it has to. It has to. As long as you keep the vision, as long as you hold the vision that God gave you, right? As long as you do the work that, like, your best, the best that you can do, not what somebody else did, not what somebody else can do, not what somebody else always expects of you. Do the best that you can do. You know what's inside of you. You know where you are, right? Your best changes when you got a broken ankle, right? As opposed to when you're 100%. Your best changes when everything is going right. You got enough money to care for yourself, and then you lose a gig. All right, your best is different. You don't have the same resources. However, you can always do what you can do, and there's always something in your power to be done, right? And again, it changes at different points. And for different people, it's different. Some people are physically stronger. Some people are physically quicker. Some people are taller, right? There's more they can do maybe up here. Some are shorter. There's more they can do maybe down here. Everybody is different. And every time, every situation, every circumstance calls for a different tactic or a different tool, right? A different perspective, right? Different work. You got to do different work to build this house. It's going to be different than to build this school, which is different than to build this road, which is different than to build this airplane, right? Like, you building something, but the knowledge, right? The tools, the resources needed, and the different things that you build, and at different times, building the plane, right, or building the road in 0-degree weather is different than building it in 80-degree weather on a mountain, right? It's different. So you use different tools, different. You got to dress differently, right? So understand that within yourself and within other people, right? But yeah, man, this life, man, is a lot of ups and downs, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of wins and losses. All right. And Jay-Z made a song, you gotta learn to live with regrets. All right. Gotta learn to live with regrets. Gotta learn to accept yourself at every point of your journey. Accepting yourself at every point of your journey, not just when things are great and you're at your best. Accepting yourself when you done messed up. Accepting yourself when you done fell off, when you done allowed yourself to get consumed by an addiction, right? A sex addiction, a drug addiction, an alcohol addiction, a shopping addiction, right? A porn addiction, right? When you allowed yourself to get caught up, right? People pleasing addiction, right? And you are not in alignment with yourself. Once you can recognize that, right? Like, and want to accept yourself through it, like, damn. But especially once you recognize and you start to make the adjustments, right? Don't curse your life, right? Like, admit that maybe you made some decisions that did not feel the best for you, to you, right? Did not put you in the best position, but you made these decisions. And now what are you going to do about it? Because beating yourself up, cursing yourself out, doing all of that stuff to yourself is not going to help for the most part, right? Sometimes you need to like give yourself a pep talk. You need to like push yourself around, right? And you need to accept that, like, this is something I did. This is a decision that I made. These are decisions that I made. These are choices that I made. These are things that I've done to get me here where I'm at today. The beautiful thing is that if you worked your way into a rut, you could work your way out of a rut. All right. You work yourself into a position where you're not really feeling yourself, where you're not feeling great, you're not feeling like your optimal self. Cool. Because now you can work yourself out of that and into the best space. Intention, proper attention, and work. You got to do the work, right? You got to do the work. There's no way around it. But yeah, man, just wanted to this Sunday light, this March 16th, March 15th. Right, I'm skipping days, man. I think that's what happens when you turn 42. You start skipping. A few days ago, last week, I was like my 43rd birthday. I skipped the whole year. And now last night, Mona telling me, you in your 43rd year? I'm like, girl, I'm 42, man. Like, I just turned 42. Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. We 42 right now, right? And we'll look at 43 as we get closer to 43, right? But now, you just turned 42. She's like, yeah, but. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Oh man, but I think as you turn 42, you start skipping days. You start. I see what my uncle mean now, man. I used to tell my uncle, "How old are you?" He was like, "I don't know. You tell me. What year was I born again? What year is it?" I'm starting to see. Like, you forget the age is just like, however old I am or young, however you want to see it, right? But yeah, this is the ups and downs, man. Is memory and thoughts and energy levels and all of the stuff. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the ups. I'm grateful for the downs. Because in my life, I've learned that the low moments, right, give me a perspective that the high moments can never give me. All right. Or very hard to get some of the perspective that you get in low moments through loss, through failure, right? Through ridicule, through criticism, right? You get certain lessons there, right? Certain perspectives there about yourself, about your journey, about others, right? Like, there's certain things that you see in other people only when you at the bottom, right? Only when you at the bottom do you see certain people. You see certain people for who they are when you fall, right? And when you mess up, when you fall down, when you F up, when you are not at your best, when you can't provide the way you used to, when you're not as sharp as you once were, right? When you begin to lose certain faculties, or when you can't walk anymore, when you can't do something that you used to do for so long, you see people for who they are. And everybody is different, right? Everybody is different, and everybody that's around you ain't there for you. Just because somebody's around you, just because somebody's in your circle don't mean they're in your corner. Just because somebody is in your circle doesn't mean that they are in your corner. And that's something that I think we all can be real about. Not just this is where the honesty and transparency comes in. Not just as it relates to others, but even maybe as it relates to us. even as it relates to us. I was talking to Mona last week, a few weeks ago, and we were talking about people incarcerated, right? And how sometimes when we are incarcerated, people who we hung with on the streets, right, don't come visit us. I was talking specifically about people who didn't come visit me or didn't write me, right? And I was like, when I came home, I was like, oh yeah, I know, yeah, I ain't my friends, da 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 da. But then I had to check myself, and I'm like, how many people did I write or visit when they was in prison? Who I told, yo, you my bro, yo, I love you, yo, you my nig, whatever, right? Like, and I'm like, shit, none, right? I mean, I wrote a few people, right, but not nearly as many people as I know and love that were locked up, right? Like some people who, when I was locked up, didn't write me. When they was locked up, I didn't write them. So it's like, be real, all right? Be real. Like just because someone's in your circle doesn't mean they're in your corner. Just because you're in someone's circle doesn't mean that you're in their corner. Now, as we mature, right? Like we start to recognize, like, all right, like I don't really like this person like that. So that's when you understand the difference between friends, acquaintances, right? People who you just see and you may say what's up to, right? May have brief conversation with, depending on dynamic, right? Depending on how, if the family is close, depending on whatever the case may be, you might have a quick conversation, but you may not necessarily be in that person's circle, so you don't need to be in their corner, right? So we got to be honest with ourselves and not hang with people, not be around people who, like, if we're not in their corner. Because when someone goes through a low moment, someone goes through a down, and they reach out to you, expecting thinking that you were in their corner, thinking that you were in their circle, and you're not, it's like, oh, snap. Right? Like, yeah, I thought you told me that I could reach out to you whenever. Right? So it's important that we don't say things we don't mean. Right? There's so many people who have said to others, right? Not just to me, but it's so many situations where somebody was like, and you hear it a lot at funerals, right? Like, yo, reach out to me with whatever you need, call me whenever, for whatever. I'm always here for you. And then you call a person with some shit, and they're not there for you, right? They're not able to help you in a way that you need, right? I'm here for whatever. I'm always here for you. What does that mean? I'm here for whatever. I'm always here for you. Does that mean that I'll answer the call every time you call? Does that mean that, like, if you ever on hard times, I'm gonna help you figure it out? I'm gonna help you through it. And does that mean that if you need money, I gotta give you money? Because a lot of times I've heard, I've experienced, that's what it is. A person may need some money for whatever the reason. Maybe they short on money, maybe they got an addiction, a habit, maybe they looking for investors and they need some money, or look for donors, right, for something. Need some money, like, oh nah, I ain't got it. Okay, cool. But I'm here to talk if you need. Cool. All right. And that's real. Everybody ain't got the money, and everybody don't want to share their money. But what does it mean when we say I'm there for you? I'm always here for you. All right. I will always be there for you. You can call on me whenever. I got you no matter what. What does that mean? I start to think that similar to, like, how you doing, has become just a common courtesy, right? Because a lot of times people say how you doing, they don't care. They don't even want to hear you. They ask you how you doing, and then if you start to tell them how you doing, they like, what? I don't really want to hear that. I'm moving over here. I'm walking. I'm going to catch the train. I'm going to catch the bus. It's like, don't ask how you doing. It's a difference. And now again, I understand why. I remember talking to the late great student minister Abdul Hafiz Muhammad of my 7C up in Harlem. May he rest in peace. I remember talking to him years ago, right? And he was explaining to me why the Muslims greet each other, assalamu alaikum, right? Peace, right? Peace be upon you, right? I come in peace, I leave in peace. He said, because, like, to ask what's up is like, yeah, we get it, hip hop, right? It's like, yo, what's good? What's up? It's like, okay, right? But you could also be like the sun, the moon, the stars, right? What's up? That's what's up, right? You don't ask how you doing because, like, most people don't want to hear how you doing, right? So there's greeting, is peace. And I understood that, right? I understood that because that was at a point when I was coming into the consciousness when people ask me how I'm doing, and I would start to explain to people how I'm really doing, and I noticed that they didn't want to hear how I was doing. They didn't give a damn how I was doing, really, right? Or maybe they just didn't have the time at that point, right? But why ask? Because if I say, yo, how you doing? I want you to tell me how you doing. What's really going on? Like, yo, how you? Oh man, like when people ask me, yo, how you? There's times I was like, yo, I ain't so great right now, man. Things, and then they try to like, yeah, it ain't that bad. You ask me how am I doing, right? This is how I'm doing. I didn't ask for your perspective, right, or your interpretation of how I'm doing. You ask me, and then you start to understand. Most people, for whatever reason, right? Some lack humanity, and some they just really are moving. They going to get the child from school. They're going to the store, right? Like they're moving, they're going somewhere. They on their way somewhere. They ain't got time to hear your stuff, right? They ain't got 5 minutes. They ain't got 10 minutes to hear what you got going on, right? And that's cool, right? So we gotta ask ourselves, like, what do these things really mean? What do these pleasantries? And then we get to the difference between being nice and being kind. I think those are nice things to say. Those are nice things to say. Those are things that we've been conditioned or accustomed to saying, right? Which is not always, doesn't always match like where we are. And so don't be nice, be kind, right? Be kind, be real, right? Let people know that you love them, and that you are also going through your stuff. And I've learned that sometimes when you're going through something, you ain't really got the capacity to help somebody else what they're going through. And I've learned that sometimes if two people are going through something, coming together, they can help alleviate, right? Like one person addressing one problem, another person addressing their problem, both could find a solution, right? Both could find a solution, even if it's only like getting that weight off of you. Even if it's only that, even if it's only getting that weight off of you, right? So Sunday, March 15th, we got 49 more days, probably 50 asterisks, right? You can push it an extra day, because yesterday we didn't do the right thing all the way. So it really begins again, right? Really begins again today. All right. Yesterday it's not erased, all right. It's acknowledged. It's acknowledged as we would, some hours without eating, without anything, and then we had a breakdown, right? We had a internal breakdown of the process, and we gave in to desire, all right. And today we are better. Today we are better, and we will be better tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And we're gonna continue to show up. We're gonna continue to be transparent. We're streaming tonight again, 9 p.m. All right, 9 p.m. on YouTube. Each and every day, 9 p.m. on YouTube. A lot of work to build out these next today, tomorrow, right? The next few days, as we really get into the thick of this fast 50 days of divine discipline. All right, writing, reflecting, sharing the fast journey, sharing the fundraising journey, sharing the mission and the vision for the future of human transformation, which we are building, striving to build, actively building, right? Actively building every day, striving to build out even more. And yeah, man. But we're gonna cut this show. All right, we're gonna cut this show, man. We got 40 minutes. 40 minutes in me. Today is it's a day, right? It's a day where I'm grateful to be alive. And yeah, yesterday was a lot. Yesterday was a beautiful thing, right? It was absolutely beautiful, and I'm glad it worked out the way it did. Being up late, right? Up early to 6:30 in the morning, going into my birthday. Slept, right? Because if I would have did things a little differently, and I would have been asleep yesterday when my son called, and if I would have called him back and he wouldn't have answered, I would have been extremely hurt. All right, so I'm grateful it went the way it did because was able to catch that call, was able to spend some time. But that was a reminder, right? As grateful as I am, is a reminder of where we are and of the road ahead, which is a big road. Right, it's a big road ahead, but it's a road that I'm on. It's a road that I'm not trying to get off. Right, I'm We want to see the road, see the path to the end. My babies need me. I need them. We need each other. We got a lot of thinking to do, a lot of strategizing, a lot of organizing to do to reach our combined, right? We have a goal, right? Combined goal, right? Combined vision, right? United vision, united goal. Then we want to hold each other, right, and be in each other's presence. And so this is part of when in the low moments, like keeping your head up, knowing that like it's gonna work out. And it's something that I've always done, well, not my whole life, but lately, like it's gonna work out. And it has to. It has to work out. This is where I'm at. This is what it is. But it has to work out because I have the vision. I can see it worked out, right? I don't know exactly when. I don't know exactly how, but I know it has to because it's my heart's desire. My heart is set on that dial, right? And especially if it's a situation with other people, like in this situation, my children, and it's not just them, it's our family and our community that wants to see this thing happen. And so eventually, sooner or later, all right, it's gonna work itself out. It's gonna happen the way we want it to happen. We just gotta keep expecting miracles, right? Keep expecting good things to happen. Keep expecting great things to happen. Don't allow the heaviness of the low moment to deter your thinking, to distort your thinking, to distort your inner knowing, right? And make you doubt, because the moment you doubt is the moment doubt is present, and we don't have no doubt. We don't have all faith that is already worked out, that is already, the universe is already bending to our will. We just got to do our part. All right. And my part is to do some research. My part is to do some homework. My part is to get some counsel. All right. And keep fighting. And I'm going to keep fighting, man. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get into a meditation. I'm going to burn this Palo Santo for TikTok and Facebook, YouTube and Facebook. Right. TikTok is going to ban us for smoke on live, so we're gonna cut this one short. Yeah, man. TikTok, join me 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Queensbridge Studios. That is the YouTube page. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time each and every day. For these 50 days, we will be streaming 30 to 60 minutes a night, right? Longer if it calls for it, but at least 30 minutes. But TikTok, thank you guys. All right, I appreciate you guys, and I see you on the flip side. All right, I'm gonna burn this Palo Santo. Get into a meditation. All right, if you are laying down, get into a comfortable position. If you are sitting, allow your feet to plant firmly on the floor beneath you. Allow your back to be straightened by the chair behind you. All right. Allow your arms to rest gently in your lap or by your side, whichever is more comfortable for you. Allow your head to lean forward so that the chin is in your chest. Allow your eyes to close ever so softly. Become aware of your breathing. Become aware of your breath. And just be present with yourself, your thoughts, with your body. Be present with yourself in this moment, in this space that you are occupying. Notice any pains, any discomfort. Catch any thoughts that arise that are not in alignment with who you are becoming. Be aware of any ease in your body where things feel good. You are flowing. And catch and acknowledge the harmonious thoughts, the beautiful thoughts, the positive and kind thoughts that arise. Know that you are loved. Know that you are cherished. Know that you are sacred and you are adored. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you know. You are greater than you could ever imagine. I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. You're ready. Slowly begin to open your eyes. If they were closed, wiggle your toes, move your fingers. Give yourself a neck roll. Thank you guys for tuning in on this Sunday. Appreciate you. So we got a long journey ahead. Long journey. We on the journey. We on the path. Thank you guys so much. See you next Sunday. Those who will tune in to YouTube tonight, see you later. And, yeah, have a beautiful Sunday. Spring is coming. That's a good thing. Peace.